Hello and welcome to this Datacake series. Today we're going to talk and dive into the reporting engine, and I'm going to show you some tips and tricks and some also very important information about the resolution on the reports. So let's dive in. Okay, so people usually create reports to create backups of their information and also to have a deeper insight using the data of the sensors. So now I'm gonna go to the platform, and as you can see that in this workspace we have a building monitoring tool. We have different kinds of sensors. We have CO2 sensors, we have temperature sensors, etc. This is only a small demo of a building monitoring tool, but it could be that you have 100 different devices in this workspace. So you can create a report that includes all of them. And to do so, you can go to the report section, click on Add Report, and you will see that we have now two different report types. We will walk through the second report type on another video, but right now we are going to create a very basic temperature report, which is going to be a simple CSV file. And as you can see, we have also time zones defined here because we are going to schedule it to be sent at a specific time. So you can select your own time zone. We are in Central European time, so we are selecting the Berlin time zone, and we are going to say I want to receive the report at a specific time, and I want this to be a daily report. I want it to be a very high resolution report. We're going to talk about resolution later on, but I want this report to be sent every day at 7 a.m. And you will be able to see in here which are going to be the next executions. And as you see here, you can see the day, the time, and it tells you which time zone you are in. So we will create the report, and it's going to enter directly to the report configurator. You can always change things inside of here, and you can also move the schedule, etc. Important here is that I want this report to be sent automatically via email. So I'm going to add me as the receiver of this report. You can add more than one, and you can add also people that are not invited to the workspace, so that's not a problem. And that's it. Now we are going to go to the meat of the report. So what's going to be included in the report. And as you can see here, you can filter which devices should be included in the report. Some people define their devices to have a specific name code for a specific type of device. It can be that you have 100 devices in this workspace, and not all of them are temperature devices, but you can have different kinds of devices like I do. And we also have filter by device tags. And you can select in here which device tags you want to include in this report. In this case, I want to create a temperature report, so I want all of the devices that have the tag temperature in them. And as you can see in here, now I have the filter return 3 devices, which are my temperature devices that I have in this workspace. Again, it could be 50 temperature devices, we don't know. And you can also filter using more tags. So you can say building A temperature, building B temperature, and so on. In this case, it's just going to be a temperature one. And we can select which fields are included in this report. We can select the temperature. In this case, it's only going to be the temperature, and it will include it. And something very important is that in here you now have the selected fields, because it can be that if you have different models of a temperature device, that not all of them have the same field identifier. So you need to be very careful in here to select all of the fields with their correct field identifiers. If in one device temperature is called temperature and in the other it's called temp, it's going to appear double in this list. You can see that by, for example, battery. Battery is defined as battery in one device and as battery level on the other device. So that's why you have 2 batteries in here. So make sure you select both or all of them in such case. You can also select the number of decimals that are going to be included in the report. In this case, 2 are more than enough. And I want it to be from 24 hours ago till now with a raw data resolution. I said that I want a very high resolution report. In this case, it's going to be a daily report and it's only going to include 3 devices. So that's quite okay. And output file type, you can select if you want individual files for each device, or if you want one combined file. I'm going to test the combined file and I'm going to test the individual files so that you can see what the results are for both of them. And now we have a section which is very useful for running your report, and you can run it and reload so that you can see in there the report that you just generated, and you can download it from here. You will also receive it via email if you defined, of course, a recipient. And in here you can see that you have the 3 devices, and because they all send at different times, you always get a time stamp in here, and you can see that the first temperature device was sending at a time, the second one at another time, and the third one at another time. So that's why you see some empty gaps in between. And now if I select individual files, for example, and I click on run now, you will see that now this generated 3 different files, one for each device. And if I download one of them, you will be able to see a small table only with the measurements of this specific device that we downloaded in here. So those are the ways of creating a report. Now let's go to the resolution, which is something very important. You can create high resolution reports. We recommend that the high resolution reports are covering a small period of time. Why? Because this puts way less pressure on the database, and these are for when you need the details, you need the raw data of your device. So please select a small time frame. And you can also, of course, download low resolution reports, which are great when you want to see trends and overall patterns inside of your data. So in those cases, you can select a bigger time frame, and you can also select a resolution of minutes or hours. And in this case, because database has a time series database behind it, it will take the data in buckets, and it will then make an average within those buckets, and it will show a very overall picture with a low resolution of the data that's stored in database. So those are the tips and tricks. Those are the best practices and how to use the report engine. I hope this video was very useful and you could learn new things. Maybe you didn't know a couple of things that I just mentioned, and the next video can be about something else. So leave in the comments your suggestions. We are very happy, and stay tuned.